Now next we're going to be installing this faucet here. Now it's personal preference which one you want to use, but this just happens to be the one that I'm going to put on. Alright, so we took our directions out and we read our directions, and now this particular application is a 3-hole application, so we need to use this plate here along with that gasket that's supplied with it as well. Alright, this gasket here is for single hole application. If you had one single hole and you did not use this plate, then that gasket, you would slide it onto here and it would be right on the bottom. But this one here, in this case, we're not going to use it. We'll put that off to the side. This we're going to hold on to because this piece here is the tool to remove the strainer from up underneath here. So we're going to put this on the side as well. And these are the tools we're going to need right now. Our lock bolt here, or the lock nut, and our tab here. Remember, this goes only one way, this side down. So this side faces up to the bottom of the sink, and our supply lines go right through there. All right, so that's where we're going to put it through right now. All right, so let's get it up there, and we'll get this set up. So here's everything we have right now. We just laid it on top of a cloth so we don't damage our new vanity top. We're going to take this piece here. We're going to remove this sticky back right here. Throw it away, of course. And then we're going to put this underneath here where it belongs. Okay. Just like that. And then that will keep any water from getting down into the cabinet itself. So this piece here, we're going to take, we're going to put it up like this, right here, okay? And now we're going to feed this through, like this. Just like this. And now we'll go down on the bottom, and we're going to put this piece on the bottom, all right? And then this nut to hold it in place. So let's do that. So we're just going to hold this in place, and we're going to screw it up until it's snug. We're not going to tighten it up tight yet. We're just going to screw it down just a little bit until it's tight, and then we'll do our final adjustments in a second. Okay, so now it's fairly close. We're going to go underneath the bottom now. Let's take a look up underneath there. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, and that, let's get some light here so you can see a little better. That's what it looks like up underneath here. We're just going to turn this so that it's straight, just like that. We have these pieces lined up here nice and straight, and now we're going to snug this up with the tool that comes supplied with it. We'll put it on here like this. I'm going to need 2 hands, but I'm going to put a screwdriver through here, and I'm going to tighten it up all the way until it's snug. All right, so that's what I'm going to do, and we'll continue on top. Put it on there just like this. Grab a screwdriver and put it through here, and after you're sure everything is snug and in the correct position, we're just going to tighten it down just a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's it. Nice and tight. Do not lose this tool. It comes in very, very handy. All right, next we're going to take our supply lines that come on the unit itself, and one of them is going to be marked hot, and the other, of course, is going to be the cold. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take these lines, bend them up around up here, and we're going to connect them on just like this. Now, I do want to point this out. If you have any kind of plumber's putty or Teflon or anything on there, take it off right now so it'll be a nice, clean, tight fit. All right, you do not need to tighten it real tight because as you can see, I hope you can see it, there's a little O-ring inside there. So that way the O-ring is going to seal and keep it from leaking. All right, so let me wipe this off and we'll put it back together and get those lines on. Okay, so we grab our rag now and we'll clean off any of the plumber's putty that may be on these right here, as well as in here where the rubber is going to seat. Same thing here. Let's clean it up right there. And let's clean this off right here. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to take our hot line and we're going to connect it up onto the hot side right here. Now you can take the line itself and put it anywhere you want. A lot of times the easiest thing to do is to just loop it up and hide it up in the back like this. And then we're going to screw this down. Remember, the one on the left is your hot side, the one on the right is your cold. So we're going to catch it in there just like that. And then we're going to snug this down. You don't have to go real tight. Remember, just snug. Okay? Same exact thing on this one right here. Push it up and out of the way. Put it on top here. Screw it down as far as you can go by hand. And then we'll snug this down just a little bit as well. Okay? Nice and tight. And that's it. That's all there is to connect these supply lines up like that. We're going to keep them up there. Now we're not going to turn this on yet because we need to connect up our trap into the sink. Next, we're going to put the drain assembly into the opening of the sink itself. Now here it shows you just putting a gasket up underneath here, which is this gasket right here. It goes up underneath the bottom like that, and this is supposed to seal it against the sink so that you don't have any seepage through here. But what I've learned is that a lot of times you need to use what's called plumber's putty underneath there. And so what we're going to do is going to take a little bit of plumber's putty out of here. Now you can use extra, it doesn't really matter because whatever seeps out, we're going to take it off and throw it away anyway. So let's take some plumber's putty out. We're going to take it and we're going to turn it into a long ribbon like this. Just rub it in your hands. You don't need a lot, so we're going to make it fairly thin, just like this. Same thing here. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to put it up underneath the bottom right here, just like this. Okay. All the way around like that. And then we're going to take this off. And then we're going to push it down just like this. Okay, now we're going to push this through the sink and we're going to connect it up on the bottom. So let's do that. Then we're going to hold it in place. We're going to take our nut with our washer on here and screw it up on the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to snug it down till it's pretty tight, very slowly, because the putty up top is going to start to squeeze out. I'll show you what I mean. See, the putty starts to squeeze out here, so we're going to continue to tighten it down. Let's take this out so you can see a little better. We're going to tighten it down until that putty all comes out, and then we'll clean off the excess. And we should be all set. Okay. All right. right, so now we're just going to take off the excess putty up top and we'll wrap this up. Now next you can see everything is connected up here, but we need to get this drain connected up here into that pipe right there coming out of the wall. And as you can see, they don't line up in a straight run. So we need to put an adapter on here to adapt this to come out this way and then over to the bottom of this pipe here. All right, so let me get the adapters and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so now after we have it all put back in, we tightened everything up nice and tight. We put our trap in underneath here the way we had to run it. Now, as you know, this was off-center. It used to be over here, but we relocated it over there, so we had to make up a couple of pipes to make up the difference in 6 or 7 inches, whatever the difference was. All right, but that's how we did it. Our supply lines are now connected. We turned the water back on right here and here. Now, I will point this out to you. If you get a drip down underneath the bottom, right there, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You just come up underneath here with a wrench and you tighten that nut right there. Just tighten it up just a little bit and the drip will stop. All right, after it's all put together, just make sure that everything is bone dry, that you have no leaks anyplace. Remember, water is your enemy when you're dealing with this stuff here. All right, and we ran the sink, we ran it with hot water to make sure we had no leaks at all. The reason we did hot is because it's made of plastic, and as you know, plastic expands and contracts depending on the temperature. So that's why I elected to do it in hot to soften everything up a little bit and then come back and tighten them all up and make sure everything is nice and tight and we have no leaks underneath here whatsoever. All right, that's it. This job is all done. Don't forget, check and make sure there's no leaks. That's the most important thing. I know I said that before, but it's real important. And that's it. This job is done. If you'd like to see future videos that I upload, hit that notification, subscribe of course, hit the notification bell in that corner down there, and you'll see the little bell, and you could turn on to be notified of every upload or occasional uploads. You choose what you'd like to see if you'd like to see more of these. All right, that's it. This job is done, and we're on to the next. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.